Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Because we had some time off this week, we're a little bit behind other classes already. So what we're working on today is we are going to be annotating Those Winter Sundays by Robert Hayden. Most classes were finishing these annotations today, but we need to start them today. We are going to be annotating them in the same way that we did for My Papa's Waltz. However, we're not going to be annotating this as a class. Instead, you are going to be annotating with a partner of your choice, or if you do not wish to work with a partner, you may work individually. However, you are still going to be annotating for positive connotation, negative connotation, denotation of unfamiliar words, and figurative language. Then, once you are done, wait just a little bit. Once you are done annotating, then you will complete an analysis between My Papa's Waltz and Those Winter Sundays. Both of these are listed in Schoology right here. For you guys in person, I have paper copies. Your annotations are going to be due by the end of class today, but the analysis is not going to be due until Sunday night on Schoology or Monday if you are turning it in face-to-face, okay? So again, you may work with a partner on both of these assignments. If you work with a partner, I want you to include your partner's name at the top of your paper alongside your own name. So the first step is to click on this paper that says Those Winter Sundays and go ahead and open that up on your device. It'll look a little bit different than the one you guys have in person. My 7th graders are reading I Too by Langston Hughes, so that was what was in the background there when we were doing that. So Those Winter Sundays by Robert Hayden. This is where you can annotate. I would suggest let's give us a little bit more room by reducing the size of the citation so that you have a little bit more room. So remember, we can go up here and create our key. Maybe, if Microsoft Word cooperates. Yes. Thank you, Jody. So in your key, remember to put positive connotation, negative connotation, denotation of unfamiliar words, or rods if you are typing too quickly, and figurative language. I would suggest highlighting positive connotation in green, negative in red or orange. Denotation of unfamiliar words. Last time we circled that. If you still want to go through with that, that's fine. However, some people were saying that the circle feature was a little too difficult, so maybe let's use pink, and then we'll keep figurative language as blue. Again, last time we circled denotation of unfamiliar words. If you still want to do that, that's okay. That's the dictionary definition. So we are going to read the poem together. Then you're going to annotate it independently or with a partner. And then real quick, before you start your annotations, I'm going to show you what the other assignment looks like, okay? Again, I know this is a lot of information to be throwing at you guys on a Friday. The only reason we have this much is because we missed a day and we were a little bit behind to begin with on Tuesday. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we're a little bit behind, but that's okay. Sure, you can read.
How old are you?
Jason's having a little bit of a temper tantrum. Kieran, I would love for you to read. You would have to come up here if you decide to read, though, so that they can hear you.
Wow.
Come over this way. Thank you.
Why do you keep your book? It's the thing that I do. No.
Because if he needs to
Go ahead.
Sunday, my father got up early.
I don't think your mic is on. There you go.
Sundays, my father got up early and put his clothes on in the blue light cold. Then with cracked hands and ate from labor in the weekend weather made banks fire blaze. No one ever thanked him. I would wake up and hear the cold splintering, breaking when the room were warm. He called, and slowly I would rise and dress, fearing the chronic angers of that house. Speaking indifferently to him who had driven out the cold and polished my good shoes as well. What did I know? What did I know of love's
Austere.
austere and lonely officers?
Thank you, Jason. Okay. So initially, when you're looking through this poem, we have the imagery of a father who is getting up early in the cold to start a fire for his family. And it says no one ever thanked him. No one ever thanked the father. And then at the end, the phrase speaking indifferently. What does indifferently mean? What does indifferently mean?
They're pretty quiet.
I have a couple of people that are typing. Nkosi says like nothing happened or like they didn't care. That's perfect, Nkosi. So like you don't care, right? So it's saying that the child was speaking to the dad as if he didn't really care, right? The dad's working hard and he's speaking indifferently to him who had driven out the cold and polished my good shoes as well. What did I know? What did I know of love's austere and lonely offices? So throughout this poem, we have the imagery of a father who is doing what is necessary to keep the family going, right? Maybe the father's not the most affectionate or loving, but he's doing what needs to be done to help his family, and that's his way of showing his love. And we have the child who is acting as though, oh, my dad doesn't really care about me. But yet the father is doing these things to polish his shoes, get the cold out of the house, right? Help his family in whatever way he can. So it's not saying that this father is perfect in any way, but he's working hard, he's trying to support the family, and we have the imagery of the child just kind of acting as though he doesn't really care, right? So you guys are going to work to annotate this poem for positive and negative connotation. You're also going to look up unfamiliar words. So if you didn't really know what indifferently meant, it might be helpful to put that to the side. Definitely look up austere, even if you have a good sense of what you think it is about. Look up banked, fires blazed, and maybe even chronic angers, okay? The next thing that I want to go over is that after you are done with those annotations, you are going to click on the RL 2.4 graphic organizer. This is still something that you may work on with a partner. It looks like a lot more work than it is. I promise it is going to go very quickly. It is not that difficult. So essentially the first step is for you to think about My Papa's Waltz and Those Winter Sundays. Both poems are about a parent and a child, right? And both poems have the father-child relationship. So I want you to think about the father-child relationship that's presented in each poem, and then give evidence and elaborate. The other side of the document, or the next slide, if you're working online, is to analyze the words and phrases in both poems. So again, you're going to take a word or phrase from one poem in each of these boxes, right? So you might have 3 from My Papa's Waltz and 2 from Those Winter Sundays, or you might have 3 from Those Winter Sundays and 2 from My Papa's Waltz. And with that word or phrase, you're going to put the actual denotation, right? And then the connotation of how it's used differently and how that impacts the overall meaning of the poem. Again, I understand that this feels like a lot of information and a lot of work. This file is going to go a lot quicker once you start working on it. I know it looks more intimidating than it actually is. Again, you may work on both of these assignments with a partner. Please write your partner's name at the top of your paper if you choose to work with a partner. And again, I would like for you guys to turn your annotations for Those Winter Sundays in today before you leave class. And then your graphic organizer analysis is going to be due at the end of the day, Sunday night at midnight. It will say that if you scroll down to the actual assignment files. This one's due Sunday night at midnight, and this one is due today. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? Yes, you may. All right, so again, your first step is to work through the poem, annotate for positive and negative connotation, analyze the figurative language, and then your second step would be to work on the PowerPoint file. If you have any questions, I will be here during the meeting to help answer them. Otherwise, I am going to go ahead and end the video for 6th period. Okay? Good luck, 6th period.